Welcome back to Xraised, where we take a look at industry evolution through the eyes of those creating change and innovation. Today, we will be speaking with Nicolaj Kjær. He is the founder of Prestige Digital, a web development and digital marketing agency that focuses on creating tailored solutions to help businesses grow. Nicolaj has extensive experience in the digital marketing aid industry, with his company and team focusing on creative solutions to create outcomes. So, let us meet our guest. Nicolaj, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
So happy to have you here on our show. So I would love if we could start off if you could just tell me the story behind your agency.
Yes, to tell the story, I have to take you back to when I was 13 years ago. And I was 13 years old, and I saw all of these things online about people making money. And I thought I can do that too, so I started my first business at the age of 13. And I started an e-commerce brand. And it turns out it's not as easy as making money as it is may look online. So I achieved precisely zero revenue. And afterwards, during my years of 13 to 18, I started in total 6 different businesses with all zero revenue. And that was very frustrating because I always enjoyed making websites and digital marketing, but I could never seem to crack the code of it. And then one day when I was coming home from the gym, right outside my gym, there is this bookstore, and at the window of the bookstore is the book Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And I picked up the book and I went home to study it, and I studied it for a whole week. And I thought to myself, all right, I have nothing to lose now. So I just decided to implement the philosophy in the book and put it into my website. I went to bed and expected nothing, and no joke, I woke up to my very first sale in 5 years. And some time went by afterwards, and I thought, all right, I'm not very good at running stores, obviously, but I'm very good at building websites and digital marketing. So I thought, all right, let me monetize this skill instead of just trying to run a digital store again and again and again. And the rest is history then.
Well, that's a really inspiring story. I mean, to have that kind of growth as well and to start something like that when you're so young. So I'd also like to know, what makes you stand out in a highly competitive world?
Yeah. I don't want to speak for most people, but I have met many people in the business, and I know some great people, but most of them are just in it for the money. And to be honest, I am too, but I decided that my approach to getting that money had to be a little bit different. So just to summarize, the offer that I present to my clients is a website, of course, as a source, and then full search engine optimization, 3 weekly calls, and 6 months worth of updates to the website. And most importantly, if the website does not generate you any money, you get the entire website 100% for free with the search engine optimization at the 6 months worth of updates. So let's say you invest $10,000. If I don't generate you now $100,000, let's say you get everything for free. You can make $50,000, but you still get it for free. So what I try to do here is just make sure that if you don't make money, I don't make any money. That's the whole philosophy behind it.
So very much a relationship that's equal in a way.
Yes.
Working together with your clients. So that's really fantastic. So, and also, I'd like to know a bit more about your opinions about the industry and what you've learned from it. So what would you say most people get wrong about web development?
Yeah. So if you look back to when I was 13 years old, the reason that I never got a sale, to my opinion now, is because instead of just understanding the nature of building a website, I just focus on all the tips and tricks. So I will research how to optimize conversions and all of that. But if you don't understand the nature of a website, it doesn't make any money. It's like playing football. You can learn how to kick in a way that it flies through the air in a specific way. But if you don't know how to kick the ball, it doesn't matter. And it's the same here. So the nature of it is you need to just tell a story. And I didn't do that. I just focused on optimization to the extreme. So if your story is who you are, what you do, why did you start it, what does your product do, why did you start this business, everything. If you tell them that, it makes so much more sense to buy from you instead of just trying to optimize the colors and the text and the pictures and everything. One of the most common phrases in selling is people buy on emotion and they justify with logic. And it is the same in a website. You need to like highlight all the benefits of your product and then tell a story of why it makes sense to go with you. If you started a fitness brand, for example, and you started it because you want to improve the health of the people, then just tell them that. And I didn't understand that. It's like Jordan Belfort, he talks about this a lot, because everything is selling is trust, and website is just a sales machine in a way. And to make the sale, they first have to trust you, your product, and your business. If they don't trust one of those things, then they're not going to buy. And most people, they just focus on making people trust their product instead of the business or themselves. And I have learned this the hard way, that is a very grave error you can make.
Well, yes, that sounds like something, that you've learned over time as well. And what would you say that your agency's core philosophy is?
Yes, I already mentioned it a bit, but the philosophy that we operate in is of course, if you don't make money, I don't make money. I talked about this a bit, but please understand this. I built this agency over years of failure, trial and error, and I know firsthand how it feels to invest money into something and then not see any results. I know firsthand how terrible that actually feels. And most people today, they just give you a website. It might be a good website. I'm not saying it's a bad website, but they just give a website and then they walk away. But that is just the recipe for failure that I have found out. And that's why we provide an entire performance-driven system where we just make sure that you generate as much money as possible. Because if you don't make money, I don't make money. My whole agency is built up around trust, transparency, and competence. And competence is very important because we don't have time for like things that doesn't work. Everything that is designed to make you as much money as possible. And the way my offer has been set up is, if you don't make money, I don't make money. So if for me to make money, I have to be as competent as possible at the thing that I do.
That's that is a great philosophy as well to have. And, in terms of that philosophy, in terms of everything you've learned, you must have, loads of advice to give people. So what advice would you give to businesses looking to improve their online presence?
I see today most people treat their website like a brochure instead of what I call a sales machine. The website has the opportunity to become probably the best salesman in your entire company. I don't care if it's 10,000 people work there. No man can compete against a properly functioning website. And one of the there are 5 core things that you can do to instantly change everything. And that is, as I said already, tell a story, because it's all about building the trust to your customers. And optimization. And please understand, a website is about, the point of it is to convert people into the sale. You don't have like $500 million to spend on a marketing campaign like McDonald's does. You may only have a couple of $1,000s. And if you only have that, you don't have time to just make sure that your company looks as good as possible. Sure, that also needs to be a priority, but not the top. The top is you need to make sure it converts. Number 3 is you need to master search engine optimization, because you can have the best website in the world, but if it doesn't make any money or nobody knows that it exists, it doesn't really matter. You can have the best website, but if you search up digital marketing services in Copenhagen, for example, and to find your website is in like 5th page in the Google, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And fourth thing is, if you have it, use case studies, use testimonials, and use social proof, because people trust other people. They always have, and they always will. And you need just to make sure that you present that you are not actually just a bullshit company, but people actually trust you. I'll give you an example. Most people, they just have like in their testimonials a face of the customer, then a name and a little quote. But I saw this company some time ago now where it was a digital marketing agency, and they had in their website a full section when they have interviewed like 5 previous customers or clients, and they have like 5 40-minute interviews about who they are, why they bought from you, what you think of it, and what they recommend it. And of course, if you're just selling some product from China or something, it's probably not the best idea to do so. But if you're selling a high-ticket product like digital marketing, I think that is probably the best thing you can actually do to showcase that you are not some bullshit company. And the fifth thing is you need to track and you need to constantly improve, because you might have some idea to do something new, maybe change this picture or change how you tell something or show something. But if you don't actually track to find out if it's better, then you have no idea and you're just going to throw darts at a board in the darkness. So if you have an idea to do something, then just try it and track if does this convert more than before. And if you don't track it, how will you know if it's better? And even if it's worse, at least you'll know that it is worse. So you know not to do this again, and you can go back to the original or try something new. So that is the 5 things I would say that to instantly improve your website.
Well, that's really great advice that you've given. So thank you so much for sharing this with us, Nikolaj, all about, your experience within this industry and also how you built up your own company and your own websites from scratch. So thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
For talking to us today.
Thank you.